Pierre, poisoning political discourse, recently sat down with Vashi Kapelos from CTV News to douche-explain how inflation works. Let's take a look.
Because we've got new numbers out from Statistics Canada this week, in particular about grocery prices, and you flag some of it right there. Another 4.7% higher in this November than it was last November. You have consistently laid the blame for that at the Prime Minister's feet. You've also more specifically blamed high government spending, big government deficits, which this deficit objectively is very high. If that were the case, though, wouldn't core inflation also be increasing at the same rate as those grocery prices?
It is increasing. It's been between 2.8 and 3% ever since Mr. Carney became Prime Minister, which is not, the target is 2. When it's at 3, that's not 1% higher, that's 50% higher. And people feel that in higher costs for food is the worst offender right now, of course, 4.7 or 4.8%. But not only food, other basic essentials are going up. Rent has been going up. The cost of fuel, if you take out the temporary effect of the carbon tax, has been going up. So Canadians can't afford this government. And it's very simple. When you're creating cash faster than you're creating the stuff cash buys, you have inflation. And that is one of the reasons why prices continue to rise. And for many people, rise faster than their incomes. It's why we have a record number of people lined up at food banks. It's why we meet people every single day who tell me they simply cannot afford to put food on the table anymore. People with jobs who work 50, 60 hours a week are going to food banks for the first time in their lives because of the higher cost that this Liberal government is imposing, yes, through its deficits, but also through its hidden grocery taxes.
I want to unpack some of that because I understand exactly what you mean about people. They approach us, they talk about this as well. We represent it on our newscast and we talk about it frequently. And it is not to take away from that I ask you questions about the policies you say would ameliorate that situation for them. But when I pose to you the difference between food inflation, for example, and regular inflation, the core inflation number in November is down 2.8%. As you said, it was originally 3%.
Which is what's the target?
The target is between 2 and 3%. It is within the target range right now. Inflation. I'm just saying the difference between food and like if it were all government spending, wouldn't it all be out of control? And it's not. There are other factors at play, including those detailed by Statistics Canada in the report released this week. Things like weather conditions, cattle supply, things like that.
So first of all, the target is not between 2 and 3%. The target is 2%. The range is 1 to 3, and we're at the top of the range and on the verge of going over it. For food prices, it's 4.8.
Notice how at no point does Pierre, pretending he has a spine, ever address the klepto in the room. Galen Weston of Superstore, Loblaws, and Shoppers Drug Mart, etc. Galen provides a lot of support to Pierre. A lot of support. And he was basically paying his chief strategist, Jenny Byrne, though she has since been replaced by an outhouse. But Pierre can talk all he wants about grocery prices. Everyone knows he would have never brought one of his largest donors to heel. You can't do that when they already got you on all fours.